everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is another episode of Impact Thursday with Constance. Please stay tuned and enjoy. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And lastly, click on that notification bell to get more videos. Welcome to another episode of Impact Thursday with Constance. My name is Constance Mbombi, and today I'm not alone. I'm with my beautiful guest, Dr. Ati. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you, Connie.
Oh, it's such an honor to have you here.
It's a pleasure, Connie. Thank you for having me.
Right. Today's topic, we'll be speaking about depression, which is a mental health disorder that most people are not aware of. Most of them, they're experiencing it, but they don't know how they can go about getting help because they don't know what it is. And you realize that most people in the schools, the young kids in the schools, high schools, primary, in the university, and even those who are working, they are suffering from a mental disorder in the form of depression, and that can stop them from functioning well in their works, in their academics. It becomes a problem because the mind is a powerhouse. If it is affected, it becomes difficult for somebody to function. So today we'll be shedding a bit of light on depression in terms of how people can get assistance who are suffering from depression. So I'll start by asking Dr. Ati, what is depression?
Depression it's more than feeling sad. It's a medical disorder. It's a very wide and complex in terms of how it presents to us and how we get to treat it. So basically it's a medical disorder, a mood disorder that basically affects one's ability to feel joy or to feel happy, and that later on affects how they function and they interact with their environment and with those around them, basically.
All right. So speaking about depression, how can one identify if they are depressed? Because most of the time you realize that you're just going through different mood swings, or you're just so low and you're not aware if it's depression or what. So how can one identify if they're depressed or somebody who's around them is depressed?
So like I said earlier, it's more than just feeling sad. I think every one of us once or twice in life we may encounter situations that make us feel a bit low, like loss of a parent, of a loved one, like maybe not doing as well as you wanted, doing something, disappointment and all these things. But now we're talking specifically where your ability to overcome these feelings is basically overwhelmed, essentially. And at that point, it's no longer a matter of, if you change this situation or that situation, then I might be able to feel differently. It's now a matter of the brain status, essentially. The chemicals that we call neurotransmitters in the brain, and they're basically essential for regulating your mood. So if you have enough of them, then you're able to overcome, those low moments. Because it's like having a bucket full of water, and you're able to pour out each time, the situation requires. Now imagine having this bucket full of water with life constantly requiring, a certain part of you to overcome that hurdle, and having extra holes around. That constantly means that this water is seeping out, then you don't have enough in that bucket to carry you through. So now it doesn't matter if I change the situation, if I change what's going on in your life, constantly you will feel down. So for other people, it will be this overwhelming feelings of sadness. It will be this overwhelming feeling of loneliness. You don't find joy or pleasure in the things you used to previously. You can't sleep properly. you either sleep too much without really getting much rest from that sleep, or you sleep too little because you have difficulty falling asleep, and we call that insomnia. For other people, they can't concentrate well, they're not able to achieve their tasks as expected, whether it's school, whether it's work, in different areas of their lives. For other people, their sexual, desires are not as before, and their partners might be able to tell them, or even they themselves will be able to notice this. Other people, they'll be irritable or angry. So like I said, it's different for different people. So you just have to be able to notice that. But with that said, we usually say that at least these feelings should be persistent for more than 2 weeks. Yes.
Like you said, that it's very important for people to be able to notice the different signs of depression. So after noticing the signs of depression, how can one go out and get help?
Okay. I'll start with the younger ones going up. So say you're like in high school or in primary school, and usually at that age they can't really verbalize what is really going on. Speak to a teacher, speak to a mentor, speak to a coach if you're a part of a team. Speak to someone who overlooks at least a certain activity in your life. Because what we find that most of the younger ones, they just act out, which for them is a way of expressing that feeling of being overwhelmed, or so speak to someone. There's also a Depression Society. You can call their number. I believe Connie will attach it at the bottom. I forgot it for now. You can, that's basically it. I'll speak to the young adult in university. Usually most universities have student societies, Speak to someone there, go and ask for help, because there's usually help available. I know it is for most universities. For someone who's working, or even that young adult in varsity, go to your GP, and speak to them. Actually, I'm not feeling well. Speak to your parents, speak to your friends, because maybe at that moment you feel like you don't have the ability in you to do that. Speak to someone who can maybe, take you through this journey and take you, to the right people. So like I said, your GP, your clinic, your local clinic, they should be able to, connect you to the right structures that are available, like your psychologists, your social workers, to see exactly what can be done for you. And, I know most companies have staff wellness clinics. These are all platforms available for us to get the help that we need, essentially. So basically, speak. Ask for help. Someone out there is willing to listen.
Speak, and ask for help. And there's someone who's willing to listen. So, doctor, what are the long-term effects of depression if somebody does not get help earlier in their stage of being depressed? What are the long-term effects that someone may experience?
I hear you. So there's a lot. There's a vast. For other people, they might find themselves anxious because you feel like you're under attack, you're alone, all of these things. So anxiety, we find it a lot of the times coupled with depression, and it's for them, it's a reality. This overwhelming feeling of I'm so scared. What if I don't get it right? What if this? So it's very important that we get ahead of the depression before we get to that stage. For other people, like their bodies, they might feel pains in their bodies, because remember, you're not as happy, and the happy hormones basically in your brain help you also with pain management in your body. When you're less happy, you generally tend to feel more pain. So those generalized body pains. For other people, it's concentration and memory, like I said earlier on. So you can't perform to the best of your ability in the tasks ahead of you. For other people, in a way to try and help themselves, get out of the state, they might use drugs, they might use alcohol, which is actually, even more detrimental than where they were before. So it's all of these things. For other people, weight loss, weight gain, so it's all of these things that we have to look out for. And, it's at the end, if it had been caught earlier, and something would have been done earlier, you see, you could have actually been ahead of the game, essentially. Especially for kids, they're not able to focus at school. That means they keep repeating the same grade, and no one really understands. But he doesn't look, it doesn't make sense that this child is still in this grade because they're not able to focus. So it's very important that we deal with it as early as possible. Yes.
Very, very important, doctor. It's very important to deal with the signs of depression before it's late.
Yes.
Because that can lead to another dangerous or, very deadly effect to the body or to the mind, to the heart.
Like, think of that person as well who wants to kill themselves or wants to harm themselves. If it had been dealt with earlier, then you see that it's actually preventable. And how many times have we had on our campuses, someone jumped out the window, someone did this, someone drank that, and it's all preventable if only we're able to pick up as our community, pick up on these things as the community, and the report, report. The Bible speaks of being each other's keeper, being your brother's keeper, being your neighbor's keeper.
Yes.
It's all about that, looking out for each other.
Definitely. Let's look out for one another. If you are seeing that somebody is suffering from depression, it's very good that you reach out for help and help the person. And I think wrapping up our talk for today, what is the advice that you have for young people? Because we realize that it's so sad to see young people, committing suicide because of depression, or not even young people, but just people in general committing suicide. It is not good. So we are trying to prevent this depression from spreading or even causing a lot of more harm in our community and society as a whole. What is the advice that you have for the young people out there in schools, high schools, university, primary school, or even the working class? Everyone, basically.
Yeah. So I would say, number one, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone as a person suffering from depression, and you're not alone as you're part of the community. There's someone who cares. There's someone who's looking out for you. So reach out. It might not come out the way that you want to actually say it, but say something. Say something. As a child, you can even draw it, even as an adult. Find a way of expressing your feelings before it gets to that point where you just now you're just looking for a way out of feeling this low. Speak, have an outlet, have an outlet. I know a lot of us like to do physical checkups every year. But how often do we do mental checkups? How often do you check in with your therapist if you have access to one, or with your spiritual leader if you have one, or with your friends? A lot of us are so busy. I'm working, or a lot of the time we're disconnected from what we actually feel. Have those regular checkups. Have those regular, speaking to people, expressing yourself. That's the first thing. Number two, I would say, if you have been diagnosed with depression, and I know a lot of people who say, actually, I've been told that I have depression, but I haven't taken my medication. Go and start. There's no real stigma around it, in a sense that if you have hypertension, you can't tell you have blood pressure, don't go up to date, stay down. You can't talk to it. in the same way, you can't talk to your mood and say, be good today, be good today. Mm-hmm. If you need your meds, you need your meds. Mm-hmm. Do you get my point? You need therapy, you need therapy. Mm-hmm. That's basically how it works. So don't feel like you have to hide, you have to, go out, seek the help, get the help, and actively work on on getting yourself better. And thirdly, I would say there's more help available now than ever. There's actually, because there's more awareness campaigns, there's more people willing to to reach out and assist. So please use those platforms, use those student societies, use the Depression Society, use all of these things that are available, all of these resources available to you to actually to be able to overcome, to be able to get the help that you actually need. So that's basically all I have to say to that.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I have personally learned a lot today. Thank you for enlightening us, shedding so much light on this topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for having such a platform. A lot of people need to hear this. A lot of people, it's not even just for the first time, but reinforcing that there's help available. Thank you so much, Connie.
It's an honor and a pleasure to have you here. We have finally come to the end of our episode, and if you have any questions for Dr. Ati, may you please leave them down below in the comment section, and she'll be able to answer each one of them for you. So don't be hesitant. Put all of them there regarding mental health, and she will answer all of them for us. We are here to learn. We are here to help one another. So don't be ashamed. Leave those questions there, and we'll make sure that we attend to each one of them. I have personally learned a lot. To you there at home, may you please make sure that you talk to someone, say something to someone, and ask. There are systems, there are resources that are put in place to help those who are suffering from depression. Ask about them, and you'll get information, you'll get help. Say something to someone. Do not keep quiet, do not suffer in silence. And from me, truly, I've come to the end. Please make sure that you share this video with your friends, your families, your colleagues, everyone around you. Let us make sure that we spread information. Let us share with everyone this information. Make sure that we spread the information in our societies, in our communities. It's very, very important. That is how we empower one another. Do not forget to like, to share, and comment on this video. Make sure that if you have not yet subscribed, may you please click on that subscription button, also the notification bell, to ensure that when I post more videos, you are able to get updated. Truly from me, Constance, I love you so much. Stay blessed. Bye.